Please make a copy of your image calculator and call it integer calculator. Click on your function and go Shift F6 and call it integer calc. We can then ask the user for an integer, remove the unwanted code, and edit our comments. Can you use the code on your screen to go from decimal to binary? Once you've done that, remember to work out the length of the binary result so that you know the number of bits you need. So here's the calculation and the answer set up. And in the main routine, we want to rename our variable. When we test, it's saying 8 bits instead of 6 because we've got A leading 0B in our binary. To fix this, we can change binary to raw binary. Then I can set up the binary number so that it's from the third digit onwards, which is going to remove that 0B. Remembering, of course, to comment my code. And now when we test, we can see that this program is working as expected. We now have all the components that we need to create a fully working bit calculator. To create the program, the easiest option is to go into our file type component, tap F5, call it the base component, and we can then go ahead and incorporate the various bits that we need into this base component. Please begin this process by taking where your file type is the exit code and moving it directly under where you ask for the file type. We can then figure out what the file type is, and once we know what the file type is, we can find out the number of bits. Please pause this video and see if you can create the final program yourself. We can now systematically incorporate the components that we've developed to make our final program. A reminder that our statement generator is in our instructions component. So go to your instructions component and select both your instructions and your statement generator function. Copy them, go to the top of your base component, and paste those functions in. Then go back into your instructions component and get the content from the main routine, including the comment. Copy it, go into your base component, and before the start of the loop, paste in the instructions content. We can then go back to our components. We've already used the file type component, and our integer checker has been used both in the image and integer calculators. This means that a good step is to go to the image calculator component, grab the two functions, copy them, go into the base component and up into our functions area. Underneath where we get the file type, we can paste in those two functions, and we can then go down into our main routine. We can set up an if statement, so if the file type is an image, we can then go back into our image component and get the code we need to call the function and display the answer. And that's what your code should look like if the file type's an image. We can check if the file's an integer. You'll want to go into your integer calculator component, copy the integer calculator function, go back into your base component, and in the functions area, under your image calculator, you can paste in your integer calculator function. Then scroll down, go back into your integer component, grab the code, and paste it into your base component. If it's not an integer or an image, it's text. So we can use else, go into our text calculator, select the function and copy it, go into the functions area in our base component and paste in the function, go back to our else statement, retrieve the main routine code from our text component, and paste it into the else branch. Your next step is to test your program, and one of the things you will need to do is edit your instructions so that they make sense. You'll also want to go through your code and add in appropriate headings and spacing. Remember to use the test plans you've been provided with and generate the screenshots that you need. In the next video, we're going to start a brand new project.